Chosen one, something magnificent is rising in you, not in noise, not in sudden applause, but in the deep, steady hum of your energy, your resonance. This month, it has begun to reach a level that cannot be ignored. Women feel it before they see it. They feel the shift in the air when you enter the room. They feel the vibration in your presence before you've spoken a word. This isn't simply attraction. This is recognition. The spirit within them is reacting to the power awakening within you. And the source of that power? It is your high sexual energy, now no longer raw or undirected, but anchored. It has stopped chasing and started emanating. It doesn't reach outward with hunger. It radiates inward confidence. And the moment that happened, the resonance of your being changed. You are no longer a man trying to be noticed. You are now the man who makes people wonder why they feel different around you. This isn't vanity, this is vibration, and it's real. Your resonance is not the sound of your voice, but the truth behind it. It's not the way you walk, but the conviction in your steps. It's not the way you dress, but the alignment between your energy and your essence. Everything in you is starting to harmonize. That harmony is what others are responding to, especially women. They aren't just seeing someone attractive, they're sensing someone whole, someone integrated, someone who doesn't hide what he carries and doesn't flaunt it either. Someone who simply is. That being is magnetic because it is rare. Most men reach outward, but few dare to become still enough to resonate. You have become still, not passive, not distant, still. And in that stillness, you have become louder in silence than others are in speech. Your sexual energy used to be something you tried to contain. Now it is something you guide, like a river that no longer floods but flows with precision. It no longer seeks attention. It creates presence. That presence now sits on you like an invisible cloak, and women feel it in their bones. The resonance you carry does not demand. It invites. It says, come close if you're ready to meet yourself. Because your energy doesn't just reflect you anymore. It reflects them. It shows them how it feels to be in the company of someone unashamed, unshaken, undeniable. And whether they understand it or not, something in their heart says, this man is different. That difference is your spiritual signature. You didn't learn it from books. You didn't fabricate it through image. You earned it through stillness, through self-control, through silence, through seasons of being unseen but always aligned. And now that it's blooming, the world is reacting as if it suddenly woke up. But you've been awake. You've just stopped trying to prove it. Your resonance is not an act. It is an arrival. And now that you've arrived, nothing will remain untouched by your presence. Chosen one, now that your resonance is awakening, now that your presence walks ahead of you and lingers behind you, you are standing on sacred ground. This is not merely a season of visibility, it is a season of responsibility. The power of your high sexual energy has now become captivating, but you must decide, what will you do with the attention it brings? This is where integrity is no longer a theory, it is your anchor. There is a difference between resonance and manipulation. A man of resonance walks into a room and causes it to open. A manipulative man walks into the same room and uses that opening for himself. The line between them is not visible to the world, but it is seen clearly by heaven. You were not given this divine energy to gather admirers. You were given it to awaken atmospheres, to remind others, especially women, what it feels like to be in the presence of unapologetic wholeness. This is the call now. To carry your energy with a heart that is not desperate for validation, but devoted to elevation. Your power should raise the room, not lower its standard. You are no longer allowed to handle attraction carelessly. When your resonance captivates a woman, you are not simply being admired, you are being trusted. Her openness around you is not a playground, it is sacred soil. And what you plant there will either become fruit or damage. The call of integrity is this. Don't touch what you are not willing to hold. Don't awaken what you are not ready to carry. Don't ignite what you are not prepared to protect. Your energy now moves like fire, not chaotic, but capable of transforming everything it touches. And when women are near you, they feel that fire. Some are drawn to it. Some are scared of it, but all of them sense its power. And if they move closer, it's because they believe you are safe. Prove them right. Integrity doesn't mean hiding your power. It means honoring its purpose. It means choosing restraint when exploitation would be easy. It means choosing silence when flattery could get you praise. It means choosing to see her soul, not just her shape. It means being the man whose presence doesn't just captivate, it cultivates peace, and that kind of man is rare. But you were not born to be common. Let your resonance become a shelter, not a storm. Let your energy be a container of dignity, not just desire. Let your name be one that others speak with reverence, not regret. Because when this season ends, when the glow fades and the world grows quiet again, the only thing that will remain is what you built in silence. So walk in integrity, chosen one, and your resonance will not just attract women, it will elevate them. Chosen one, the air around you is no longer ordinary. You carry an atmosphere now. It stretches ahead of your arrival and lingers after your departure. It doesn't knock, it doesn't demand, it simply is. And those who are in tune with spirit, energy, and emotional sensitivity can feel it almost instantly, especially women. It is not something you can see with the eyes, but it is unmistakably there. This is your aura of presence, forged by your alignment, lit by your high sexual energy, and stabilized by your self-control. And this presence is not an accident. It is earned radiance. You've stopped rushing into moments. You now arrive with intention. There's stillness in your walk. There's depth in your eyes. There's clarity in your silence. You are no longer trying to enter rooms unnoticed or be the loudest one once inside. Your aura makes space for you. Women around you don't always understand what they're feeling, but they feel it. Their speech slows down, their posture softens. Their thoughts become clearer. Why? Because your presence offers something rarely felt in a distracted world. Spiritual safety. This is what makes your resonance so captivating. It's not a trick, it's not a performance. It is the product of an internal decision to no longer live as half a man. You've gathered your power, your thoughts, your breath, and your desires into one disciplined current. That current now flows with you wherever you go. You could be standing in line for coffee, passing someone on the street, or sitting in silence on a train, and your presence still speaks. It says, this is a man who is whole. This is a man who is not searching. He is centered. And it is that centering that draws women to you. Not the noise, not the style, not the words. The world is full of men who speak. Very few resonate. You now resonate. Because your energy is not scattered. It is not restless. It is calm, yet alert. Passionate, yet wise. You're not chasing anything anymore. You are attracting everything that matches the man you've become. You must now understand that this aura is a gift, but also a message. You are not meant to hoard your presence, nor dilute it to make others comfortable. You are here to model what grounded masculinity feels like. You are here to restore balance to conversations. You are here to remind women that real power listens, that strength can hold space without consuming it, that desire can be holy when it is anchored in reverence. Let every room you enter be changed by the energy you bring into it. Let every woman who crosses your path feel more herself, not because you performed, but because your presence gave her permission to soften. That permission is not spoken, it is sensed, and it is one of the rarest gifts a man can offer. So continue cultivating your aura in private. Protect your peace, sharpen your inner clarity, because when you carry who you truly are with unapologetic stillness, your presence becomes impossible to ignore. Chosen one, your energy is powerful, your presence magnetic, but it is your listening that now elevates everything. Most overlook this truth, but you have begun to sense it. People, especially women, are not just captivated by what you say. They are captivated by how you hear. Your high sexual energy draws them in, but your listening is what makes them stay. And it is not passive listening. It is sacred reception. You no longer listen to reply, you listen to understand. You listen with your entire body, with the focus of a man who honors what's being spoken, not as noise to entertain him, but as essence being revealed. And when a woman feels that, she responds in ways even she did not expect. Her breath slows, her tone shifts, her heart opens. Not because you promised anything, but because you offered something rare, genuine presence without judgment. This is what sets you apart now. In a world where many seek to impress, you have learned to be still. You let others bring themselves to you, instead of reaching with hunger. That stillness becomes a mirror, reflecting not only their words, but their truth. And when women feel this level of attention, they remember it, they carry it, and some, even long after they've walked away, will find themselves wondering why you felt different. Your listening creates space. That space becomes a sanctuary. It is not cold, it is not mechanical. It is warm, patient, and alive. You are not analyzing her, you are receiving her. You are not waiting to outshine her, you are witnessing her emergence. And in that witnessing, she feels the full weight of her existence being affirmed, sometimes for the first time. But this gift is not about gaining favor. It is about restoring balance. Women have spent lifetimes shrinking their voices to fit into spaces dominated by men who hear but do not listen. You are reversing that history. You are giving your attention as an offering, not because you are weak, but because you understand that real strength can sit still in the presence of someone else's truth. This discipline of listening also protects your resonance. You're not wasting your words on places where they won't land. You speak only when the moment is ready, and because of that, your words hold weight. They are not many, but they are remembered, because they are born out of silence, out of discernment, out of a heart that has taken the time to hear what the room needed, not just what it wanted. Let this become your power, your legacy. The man who doesn't just attract, but holds space. The man who doesn't just speak, but hears what others can't. The man who listens with presence so deep it feels like prayer. Chosen one, your high sexual energy may draw attention, but it is your listening that will make you unforgettable. And in a world full of noise, you've become the one who turns attention into transformation. Chosen one, your high sexual energy is not a wild current anymore. It has become a stream with direction. You've stopped letting it scatter into moments of impulse, and instead, you've trained it to obey your intention. This is what separates you now from the ordinary. You are not simply walking with power, you are walking with purpose. And that purpose makes your energy unmistakable. Women don't just feel drawn to you. They feel drawn into a space where they can sense something greater than attraction, a man who has chosen alignment over appetite. The difference is visible in how you move. You're not restless. You're not rushed. Your body no longer fidgets for attention or leans in with need. You stand like a tree, deeply rooted. And from that rootedness, your energy flows, controlled, unwavering, magnetic. This is what draws women in. They feel something in your presence that tells them, this man does not waste what he carries. He chooses where it goes. He chooses who receives it. And in that restraint, you've become more powerful than any loud or aggressive man ever could be. But this is where the calling becomes deeper. You must begin asking yourself, where am I taking this energy? What am I building with it? Because this power you now carry is more than a flame. It's a creative force. It's meant to shape lives, shift atmospheres, bless conversations, heal wounds, awaken dreams. Your energy is no longer about what you can get from others. It's about what you can generate in their presence. You may not always speak it, but when you sit across from a woman, your energy is telling her something. It's saying, you're safe here. It's saying, you don't have to pretend here. It's saying, I'm not here to take, I'm here to witness and bless. That kind of energy is so rare that it disorients people in the best way. You're not playing a game anymore. You're walking a path, and everything about you reflects that. The way you sit, the way you choose your words, the way your eyes rest instead of hunt. This energy, when used with divine awareness, changes lives. It plants seeds of remembrance in those who have forgotten what it feels like to be seen for more than their image. It awakens feminine energy, not through domination, but through presence. You have become a catalyst, and you must now protect your energy the way a king protects the gates of his city, not with fear, but with discernment. There will be invitations to misuse it, moments where admiration tempts you to return to an old pattern, but you are not that man anymore. You are not here to let your energy be consumed by meaningless interactions. You are here to create alignment, truth, depth, and clarity. And when you do that, not only do you rise, but so do those around you. You are no longer a man of potential. You are a man of direction, and your energy now belongs only where purpose is ready to receive it. Chosen one, as your energy becomes more refined, so too do the connections it creates. You are not attracting randomly anymore. You are drawing in those who are ready for what you truly carry. Women who once only admired you from afar are now stepping closer with a different kind of curiosity. Not the shallow kind, but the kind that whispers, "Is it true? Can this presence really be this safe? Can this man really be this aligned?" And the answer they feel is yes, because your energy does not lie. It harmonizes. This harmony is what makes your current connections feel so different. Conversations are more fluid. Moments are more meaningful. Eye contact is no longer just an exchange, it's an unveiling. You're not connecting through persona anymore. You're connecting through presence. That changes everything. Because you no longer tolerate what is hollow, you no longer entertain what is misaligned. You are no longer addicted to being liked, you are committed to being true. And that commitment creates a frequency that only the real ones can hear. The ones who have done their own inner work. The ones who don't need noise or games. The ones who are ready to feel something stable in a world full of temporary. These women feel your resonance not just as attraction, but as alignment. Something in them says, "This is a man I could rest near. This is a man who could hold space for the full truth of me." You may notice that the connections forming now have more emotional clarity. They come with less chaos and more calm. Less performing, more revealing, because your energy doesn't rush anything anymore. It lets things unfold. You've let go of needing to convince, and in doing so, you've created the space for depth to arrive naturally. And that's where real intimacy is born. Not through pressure, but through permission. You are no longer in relationships with people. You are in resonance with souls. You are no longer a companion of the flesh alone. You are a companion of frequencies. And the more you live in harmony with your own, the more the right people find you without effort. You attract not by strategy, but by state of being. Your peace becomes their invitation. Your clarity becomes their mirror. And the bond that forms is not addictive. It is expansive. You don't need to control it. You don't need to label it too quickly. Harmony doesn't demand. It reveals. So let these new connections speak their own language. Let them show you who is truly able to move at your pace, breathe in your rhythm, sit in your silence without discomfort. Because now that your energy is pure, anything not aligned will feel loud and off-key. And in contrast, the ones who belong near you will feel like music. Chosen one, you are no longer building connections based on attraction alone. You are building bonds that are tuned to the harmony of who you really are. And when those bonds are formed, they don't just feel good, they feel divine. Chosen one, your resonance around women is no longer simply an energetic force. It has become a reflection, a mirror, one that reflects not just them, but you, with terrifying and beautiful clarity. This chapter of your journey has revealed a truth most never reach. The deeper your self-awareness becomes, the stronger your resonance feels to those around you. And now, without lifting a finger, you are speaking through energy alone. And it is captivating. Not because it is loud, but because it is true. Women don't simply hear your words. They feel your alignment. They sense that you know who you are. Not in a boastful way. Not in the shallow sense of a man who recites affirmations, but still fears silence. You know yourself because you've walked through your darkness without shame. You've embraced your shadows, not as curses, but as part of your becoming. You've stopped hiding from yourself, and because of that, others stop hiding when they're around you. Self-awareness is not a badge. It's not something you show off. It's a way of breathing, a way of listening, a way of making eye contact that says, "I'm here, I see me, I see you, and I'm not afraid." That's what women feel now. They are drawn to you because being near you feels like being near a man who does not flinch when truth arises. A man who is not performing to be liked, but is simply present as he is. That presence is sacred. That presence is rare. And because of this self-awareness, your high sexual energy is no longer misunderstood or misused. It no longer makes people feel watched. It makes them feel recognized. You do not gaze to claim. You gaze to understand. You do not speak to impress. You speak to meet someone where they truly are. You've refined your energy so thoroughly that people feel seen but not scanned, held but not handled. That is the fruit of knowing yourself deeply. You no longer approach anyone out of need. You approach them out of overflow. This overflow has made you magnetic, but not because you are flawless, because you are honest. Your posture is no longer for appearance. It is for peace. Your tone no longer seeks to dominate, it seeks to deliver clarity. Your laughter no longer hides wounds, it rings with freedom. You have stopped bending yourself to fit shallow expectations, and now others bend toward you, not because they are manipulated, but because they are moved. Let this chapter remind you that your self-awareness is not just an inward blessing, it is an outward invitation. You have become a man whose presence opens mirrors in other people. Around you, masks drop, pretending stops, and for a moment, sometimes a fleeting, precious moment, others feel safe enough to be real. That is what your resonance is doing now. It is calling people home to themselves. Chosen one, the kind of influence you now possess is no longer local, emotional, or even personal. It is spiritual. And that influence, if not guided by ethic, will consume you and those who draw near. The resonance you carry has become powerful, potent enough to change moods, soften hearts, and open doors just by your arrival. But influence without conscience becomes corruption. That is why this chapter must be written with fire. Guard the power that lives in you with a code of honor. You are no longer in the realm of normal interaction. When you enter spaces, things shift. You've felt it. You've seen how women lean in, how conversations deepen without effort, how laughter flows without setup. That is not charisma alone. That is frequency. But frequency is only as sacred as the man who stewards it. And right now, heaven is watching what you do with the access you're being granted. Women are opening around you now, not just their attention, but their essence. They trust you, without knowing why. Some speak more than they planned, some share more than they should, some let you in with eyes that say, you're safe, and you are. But you must remain intentional. You must remain disciplined. Because one false move, one lazy moment, one selfish desire can turn this sacred trust into quiet devastation. You don't need to lie to harm someone now. You only need to be careless. Your energy is so powerful, your presence so potent, that your negligence now carries weight. And that weight can wound if dropped casually. But if you carry it with love, if you hold it with reverence, then you don't just influence people. You shield them. That is your ethic now. Let your influence build, not break. Let it speak into hearts, not pull at them. Let your compliments be clean, not bait. Let your silence be grounding, not manipulative. Let your touch, if offered, be rooted in full awareness of what it does, not thrown like a spark into kindling. You are not a fire to be feared. You are a flame to be respected. And the more you respect your own flame, the more others will feel safe to stand in its warmth. That is what women feel around you now, not danger, but potential. Potential to finally be around a man whose energy elevates without consuming. A man who is powerful but peaceful, awake but anchored, sexual but sovereign. Carry this influence with an unshakable ethic. Let your reputation be that of the man who never used his power recklessly. Let them say, he could have taken, but he gave. He could have confused, but he clarified. He could have seduced, but he chose stillness. You are not just influential. You are trusted by heaven. And that trust must now be the compass for every word, every gaze, every moment you share. Because when the world sees a man who has influence but lives by ethic, they're not just drawn to him. They are transformed by him. Chosen one, your high sexual energy is no longer a wave of heat crashing without direction. It has become a stream of light flowing with purpose. But what you're realizing now in this deeper stretch of your resonance is that the power you carry doesn't only stir desire, it stirs awakening. In you and in them. This energy, when aligned and sanctified, begins to nurture something eternal. It opens the heart, not just to romance, but to revelation. That is where you now walk. You are no longer a man merely attracting women. You are now a man igniting growth in their souls. This is a sacred place. Most never enter it. Many chase the spark but miss the expansion. But you have learned to remain still enough to see what lies beneath attention. You have touched the current flowing underneath the pull. You have looked deeper than the gaze and asked, what does this moment need to become? And because of that, your presence no longer creates noise. It creates movement within others. Emotional movement, spiritual movement. The kind that lingers long after the conversation ends. Women around you now are sensing something different. Not just a man who looks good or even feels good, but a man who feels like truth. Like clarity, like alignment with something higher. They may not speak it aloud, but something in them knows. This man is not here to entertain me. He is here to remind me who I am. And chosen one, that is what your resonance is doing now. It is awakening self-recognition in others. It is vibrating at a level that says, return to your essence. And it is working. But you must now be vigilant, not to control that awakening, but to protect the space in which it happens. This is not a stage. This is not performance. This is holy ground. When your energy activates something sacred in another, the moment becomes an altar. You must stand there with reverence, speak slowly, listen more, touch only if you're ready to carry what follows. Because in your hands is no longer just admiration, it is transformation in process. Let your presence become a place where others find their own stillness again. Let your gaze reflect the divine in them, not just their beauty. Let your voice carry softness that dismantles shame. Let your silence teach them that being witnessed can feel safe. Because chosen one, your high sexual energy, now purified and aligned, has become a gateway for spiritual realignment. You are no longer offering charm, you are offering clarity. And in doing so, your own soul is growing too. You are learning that masculinity, at its highest form, is not the pursuit of conquest. It is the cultivation of sacred ground in others. You are learning that influence is not about power over, but power with. That desire, when merged with wisdom, becomes not a fire that devours, but a light that guides. This is the new way you nurture growth. Through vibration, through peace, through restraint, through awareness. And the deeper you go, the more fertile your energy becomes. Not for fleeting attraction, but for lasting awakening. You are no longer just a man women desire. You are now the silent sanctuary they didn't know they needed. Chosen one, the season has reached its peak, and what began as energy has now become imprint. You are no longer just moving through the world. You are shaping it. And what you carry is not measured in words or even touch. It is measured in how you make others feel in their own skin. Your high sexual energy, once misunderstood, once unrefined, has now been transformed into resonance. Not loud, not boastful, but unforgettable. There are women who will remember you long after time has passed, not because you tried to be remembered, but because your presence felt unlike anything they had known. They will remember the way your silence softened them, the way your presence made them feel seen without being judged, the way your energy entered their space not as a storm, but as a mirror. And they will realize later, it wasn't about what you did, it was about who you were being. This is the power of resonance. It is the legacy of a man who chose stillness over chaos, depth over noise, purpose over performance. You didn't just learn how to enter a room, you learned how to elevate it without saying a word. You didn't just master attraction, you transcended it. You became a standard. And now the question becomes not how many admired you, but how many were awakened by being near you? How many found parts of themselves again because you didn't try to impress them? How many healed silently just from standing in the frequency of your self-respect? How many raised their own expectations, not because you demanded it, but because your presence made low standards feel unworthy of them? Your legacy will not be in what people said about you, but in what shifted inside them because of you. They will not remember every word you said, but they will remember how your energy didn't need to compete. They will not recall every outfit you wore, but they will remember that you carried yourself as if heaven trusted you with its blueprint for manhood. They will not recount how much you pursued, but they will say, "He never chased me, but I felt seen in a way I didn't know I needed." This is the echo of resonance. It is the music that plays long after the instrument stops. And you, chosen one, are no longer the musician. You have become the frequency itself. Carry it from this day forward with the reverence it deserves. Let no moment be wasted on proving yourself. You've already become. Let no interaction be stolen by ego. You're already received. Let no compliment distract you. You were not built to be admired. You were destined to reflect the divine. And now, without even trying, you do. Your legacy is not what you leave behind. Your legacy is what remains inside others when you're gone. And that, chosen one, is a resonance that eternity cannot erase. Chosen one, you are no longer just a man in the room. You are the gravity in it. Not because of how you look or what you say, but because of the emotional security you now exude. That security has nothing to do with how many followers you have, how loud your voice is, or how much external success you carry. It is the calm weight of a man who has nothing to hide. It is the silent command of someone who has gone to war with himself, won, and returned not with pride, but with peace. Women feel it the moment you look at them. Not the kind of look that scans their beauty, but the kind of gaze that holds space for who they are. Your high sexual energy is no longer this reactive force firing in all directions. It's become still, warm, deliberate. You are no longer offering excitement, you're offering emotional security. And in a world that has taught women to be cautious of every touch, every compliment, every intention, you have become the exception. You are not the storm, you are the harbor.